After 10 years in real estate and 3 years in the handyman business, I could confidently say that every first-time home buyer is going to run into these simple fixes first, and these are the things that you're going to need to know how to fix on your own to save some money. We're talking about dirty AC filters, maybe some plumbing that is leaking underneath the sink, maybe changing and adjusting cabinet door handles. These are all simple fixes that you as a homeowner could do yourself. First up, changing AC filters. This is simple. If you have a central AC system, you're gonna have two different types of filters, either one on the inside of the air handler, which is either in the garage or the attic, maybe outdoors, or it's gonna be on the returns that are gonna be inside the house. You're gonna simply clean the vent grate by using a vacuum to make sure all that dust is off of it. You're gonna remove the old AC filter, and then you're gonna replace it with the new one. Now on the side, you're gonna have an area that it's gonna tell you the size. The ones that I use are 18 by 24 by 1. And then on the side of it, you're gonna have an area where it's gonna show you an arrow, and that's the way that the air should be flowing into the return. Really simple to do. Put the new one in, close it up, and now you're good. What I do recommend to do is though, change these out every 2 to 3 months, put a reminder into your phone so that way you automatically do it and you don't have to worry about knowing when you did it last. Always make sure you have clean air filters so that way you're breathing in the freshest air possible in your home. Next one is your water filtration system. If you have a refrigerator that has a filter in it for making ice or dispensing water, you know you're gonna have to change that water filter out. Sometimes the new fridges have a smart system where it's gonna blink and let you know that you need to change your filter. The older ones do not, but the newer ones will tell you, hey, it's been 6 months, let's change it out. All you have to do is find out where that filter is, usually inside the refrigerator. It's either gonna be on the top or the bottom. The next thing you're gonna wanna do is make sure that you just reset the settings filter on your refrigerator so that way it will start the process all over. I personally like to change it out every 3 months because we go through a lot of water. Once it's in, it definitely tells you that you're gonna need to prime the filter, and that's usually anywhere between 6 to 8 pitchers of water you're gonna have to run through it, so that way it's gonna activate that carbon inside that water filter and then give you the freshest water possible. Next thing we're talking about is safety with smoke detectors. I just recommend to change out all the smoke detectors when you first buy a house, so that way you know that that's the day that the smoke detector has been installed, and then now you don't have to replace them for either 5 or 10 years, but every year you're gonna replace that battery. Really simple to do, just find out if they are battery operated or hardwired. If they are hardwired, you're gonna wanna make sure you shut the breaker off prior to changing it out, checking to make sure that the electricity is off, and then you're gonna just reverse the colors off of the wire, which is gonna be a white, black, and a red one. And then you're gonna take that off, put the new one on. That's gonna be the adapter that's gonna go to the new smoke detector. And then you're gonna put the trim piece on, and then you're gonna install the smoke detector in the bedrooms, the kitchen, and even the hallway. Just changing out outlet covers, super easy, super cheap, and it makes it look fresh again, and you don't have to do anything crazy. All you have to do is just see the outlet cover that might be damaged. Usually over time, they get weak, they get brittle. You hit it with something, they're gonna crack, or the most common thing is somebody that did replace it, they twisted it in too tight, and then now where that screw is, it's gonna have a crack, and it just doesn't look good. All you gotta do is get a flathead screwdriver, unscrew 1 or 2 screws, depending on if it's a switch cover or if it's just a regular outlet cover, and then replace it with something new. The ones that are newer are a little bit more durable, and they do come a little bit larger. So for some reason, if there's a little bit of an exposed inside wall hole, you could get a larger plate and it's gonna cover it up and it's gonna finish it off nicely. This next one is really great to upgrade a kitchen, maybe a bathroom, and you wanna do new door handle pulls. Usually the holes are already created. You don't have to worry about drilling anything. All you have to do is worrying about getting the proper size for that door handle. You're simply gonna open up the door, you're gonna remove the 2 screws, or 1 if it's just the knob, and then you're gonna put the new one on, tighten it down. Make sure you don't over tighten it because you don't wanna damage the cabinet, but just enough so it doesn't wiggle. And then now you could upgrade the look of any cabinet inside your house. I have changed the look of complete kitchens by just removing the old disgusting handles and putting something new and modern on that is uniform and makes that kitchen or bathroom really stand out. Adjusting cabinet doors. This is something that anybody could do. You could either get new hinges first and then adjust the cabinet doors, or sometimes when your cabinet doors are angled off, they're slightly weird, they don't close, they rub, all you have to do is open up the cabinet and then go into where the hinges are, and normally there's gonna be 2 or 3 set screws that you're gonna be able to adjust right on the hinge, and that's gonna allow you to line up each door perfectly and close seamlessly without any issues. All you need for this project is just a screwdriver and a little bit of time, a little bit of patience to make sure everything lines up perfectly. All right, this next thing is a must for everybody that is just moving into a house. Now, you have 2 options when we're talking about door handles. First option, you could get a locksmith over here and have them rekey all the door handles in your house. That's one way. But what I recommend to do, since you did just buy a house, freshen it up with a new doorknob or even door handle. It doesn't take much to replace, and now you know you're the only owner that has access to that door and not some random babysitter, dog walker, contractor, or other realtor that could just potentially walk into your house one day. Most doorknobs that are gonna have 2 sets of screws, you're gonna remove those 2 screws, remove the doorknob, and then you're gonna have the latch. The latch is also gonna have 2 screws, which you're gonna remove, and then you're gonna pop out the side. Then you're just gonna reverse the whole process with the new doorknob. Put the latch back in, screw it in, put the doorknob back on, screw it down. But make sure you don't over tighten it, because you could prevent that latch from just seamlessly going back into place with no issues. So just snug it down just enough. Then you're gonna wanna test it out with the key to make sure everything locks perfectly, and then make sure that the striker hits and you have no issues closing your door and it comes completely sealed. While we're on the topic of doors, the next thing I would recommend to do while we're talking about doors is remove the weather stripping. Most of the time, over time, this gets worn. There's gaps between your door and the frame, and bugs could get in, and then you could potentially have your AC escape or heat escape. So something that is real simple, anybody could do it. All you need to do is pull out the old weather stripping, and then it's gonna have a soft cushion on one side, and you're gonna have a hard rubber piece that is gonna be on the opposite side. Now with the new one, you're gonna take that hard rubber piece and you're gonna slide it into the slot along the door frame and then push it in so that way it's completely flush. When I say that your drain in your bathroom is gonna drain slowly, it's because it always gets clogged up with the random stuff, the hair clumps, everything inside it. You're just gonna wanna go underneath your sink and you're gonna remove that P-trap. Once you remove that P-trap, you could go on top and then you could unscrew the stopper for the drain, pull that up, and then you could see if that drain is clogged anywhere in that pipe. Then you could take either a clothes hanger, or if you could just pull out the clog and not have any issues with your hand. It's gonna smell a little bit, it's gonna be a little bit disgusting, but let me tell you what, it's gonna save you a lot of money, and you're not gonna have to pay somebody to come over there to do something as simple that you could do yourself. Just make sure that you reverse everything the way you took it off, and you have a bucket and a rag ready, because water will get around everywhere. And then when you do reverse the P-trap, make sure everything is seated in nicely, and then you're just gonna hand tighten all the way around the P-trap so that way it's not gonna leak. Once you do put the drain stopper back in, what I like to do is fill up the bowl of water, then let that pressure of the water to go all the way down on the P-trap and make sure nothing leaks. If you take your time and don't over tighten things, you'll be fine, but you'll save a lot of money doing it this way. The last thing that is super simple for anybody to do is patch small holes inside your drywall. Let me tell you what, when people move, they're gonna remove hanging pictures, they're gonna remove TVs, they're gonna remove whatever they had on that wall out, and I guarantee they're not gonna patch it up, and you're gonna be left with a lot of just little holes everywhere. Super easy to fix. All you have to do is just scrape the hole, put a little dimple in it on the backside of a screwdriver or a putty knife, and then you're just gonna fill it in with some mud, let that dry. If you have texture, you could spray a little texture over it to blend it in and not have it be seen. But most of the time, if you have a flat wall, sanding it down is just enough. Then you're gonna hit it with some primer, so that way all that primer is gonna be a barrier for when you put the final coat of touch-up paint over it. Now, when you do the touch-up paint, go a little bit bigger than the area and kind of just feather it in. Anybody could do this, and you don't need a professional to come over here and then clean up some of the holes that are in your wall. So these are the first 10 simple fixes that I recommend every first-time home buyer or even a homeowner should know how to fix themselves. They're really not difficult. Take basic tools to complete. And once you do complete this, it's gonna give you the confidence to go ahead and maybe tackle a little bit larger project. But the big thing about it is that this is gonna save you a ton of money and not having a guy like me come over and do all these small projects for you. Take your time, build that confidence, so that way the next time a project comes along, it might be a little bit bigger, you might be confident enough to go ahead and tackle that on your own. If this video has helped you and you are a first-time home buyer, or maybe even a homeowner that doesn't know how to do many repairs, you might want to follow this channel because I'll be putting more stuff out in this series as time goes on. Your household does not come with an instruction manual, but this series does. So follow along and I'll see you on the next one.